What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video. And today we are wrapping up the divisional three-round mocks with the NFC West, arguably the most competitive division in football. This is gonna be fun. Let's kick right into it. No need for an intro. Obviously, if you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. Let's get into this. Let's have some fun. Let's draft some players. Already looked at all the rosters as well as who's going to be up for contracts. So we got some big names moving in the next year or so that could totally shape the team. So number 12, I'm obviously glad that TDN has this, but it's not perfect at all. I think that corner is probably the number one need, just given the fact that Malcolm Butler ain't going to be there forever. We don't know if Tay Gowan could actually be a number one guy. So there is certainly something I would be looking at in this range for a guy. Andrew Booth, Ahmad Gardner is the guy who I'm targeting right now. Tight end, an extreme need, but you got guys like Isaiah Likely. That would be pretty fun. I honestly don't know how much longer Cliff's going to be there. So there's a big question right there. Edge as well. There's not really much on the defensive line at all. So obviously, if DeMarvin Leal were here, I'd probably take him. That's like the best case scenario if DeMarvin falls. I think that's where we're going to be headed for the majority of this draft. Ahmad Gardner, too good to pass up. I'm pretty sure this is exactly where I put him as well. Could be the next Patrick Peterson. I love the fit right there. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm pretty sure all three of the other teams do not have a first round pick. So probably the most boring first round we're going to see. But we're going to have some fun when we go into the next couple of rounds if this mock draft simulator does not continue screwing me over with trade offers, because it is very annoying. Also, Malik Willis falling to 30 is very annoying. It's just like, no, don't really think that's going to happen. Is a high-end quarterback with a lot of potential. Just doesn't seem to make sense. I don't know. That's just me. So finally, we are at our pick. Back with the Cardinals, of course. I would still look at a cornerback position, but right now I'm looking at Adam Anderson here, and you guys know me. I have him as like a top 13 player in the class. He is unbelievable. Could take the Hassan Reddick role. I think that's kind of like a slam dunk pick, a really solid outside linebacker. If you want to go for more of the traditional, you could go after somebody like Kingsley here. I don't know. Nolan Smith's not big, no. But there are guys like Zach Harrison would fit this team really, really well. I'm personally going to be going Adam Anderson here. It's too good to pass up on. I would look at safety as well if a really good one dropped. Jalen Catalon's a little bit, he's definitely somebody I would consider targeting, but Adam Anderson is too damn good. And it is a spot where he could be. He could be in the same area as Azeez Ojulari. I think he's going to be a top 15 pick in the draft. That's just my hunch right there. But again, he is a bit undersized. Could end up with him dropping into this range. So number 54, tackle is certainly a need for the Seahawks, but above all, cornerback. And unfortunately, there's not really a good day one starter here. Martin Emerson, okay. Mikael Wright is not worth this pick, and neither is Roger McCreary. So the Seahawks are kind of screwed. I would look at center for sure. I think Pocic is listed as a guard right now, but Ikem Ekwonu, the guard spot is just filled though. That's a problem. If you're looking for just a pure center, yeah. We could definitely talk about that. Jarrett Patterson, a bit underrated right here. Somebody we could probably target in the third. It's a little bit unfortunate the way that the draft's fallen, but I would look at edge as well. Zach Harrison seems like he could just be a really good target right now. It's tough. Looking at the tackles, you got Sean Ryan here, not going to be the best for this offense right now. I would look at Daniel Faalele here. He is a former rugby player, and this team has time to develop a pretty rough left tackle. And Faalele played right, so don't worry. I do remember that. But I think Faalele is pretty damn new to football, so there is a lot of potential to be had there. He's 6'8", 400 pounds. He actually dropped to 380, which is kind of a little bit annoying because it used to be like he is the 400-pounder. There's a lot to like about him, a lot to like. And to be honest, I think you continue investing in this offensive line. They hit like pick after pick last time, right? Only reason you guys might say, like, dude, you have Sean. Well, you guys don't know that I have Sean Ryan. Oh, actually, I think Sean Ryan made my top 32. But Ryan made it because I think that he has really good versatility on the inside. And that is going to be absolutely useless to a team like the Seahawks. So at this spot, another spot where we could go corner. This division is pretty brutal in terms of corners, apart from the Rams, right? I would look at a guy like Roger McCreary to just be a guy to start out right away. Obviously, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he definitely is somebody that we should probably take a look at because again, this team needs it. Wide receiver wise, we're not going to go after this bullshit with Drake London falling. Again, it's very unrealistic. Jalen Tolbert could be such a good trio on the squad. We already have an elite duo. Missing that real third wide receiver piece right there. Jalen Tolbert would be a fun weapon on the squad. I saw him out of South Alabama. He has a lot of potential. Big fan of him. A lot better than Romeo Dubs. Honestly, he was right behind Justin Ross, if I'm not mistaken, on my rankings list, and it wasn't very far behind. And I think that he'd be a much better Shanahan type of wide receiver than a guy like Justin Ross would. So personally, I'd probably be going over Jalen Tolbert over the corners, even though corner is a much more desperate position. You're trying to make sure that Trey Lance has everything he can get, and the injury history with their starting two with Samuel as well as Ayuk. It does kind of play into the fact that Jalen Tolbert could be the answer to making this wide receiver core competitive even throughout injury. So number 62, the Rams desperately need a tackle. That's where Failele probably should have went. Sean Ryan could probably work in the squad. Abina Eze, I used to be really big against him. Not nearly as much anymore. Abraham Lucas listed as a guard. So if you guys are looking at that, because he actually was going to come in pretty high on my list, I'm going to be going Sean Ryan here. Again, I think the Rams do need help all over the offensive line, and Sean Ryan might have maybe one more year to be able to develop as a tackle. The Rams need as much help as possible. So being able to get Sean Ryan is definitely going to be something that you're going to look out for. By the way, Akeem Kwanu is an absolute steal at that point. I was thinking about taking him for the 49ers, but I was like, we'll get off that train a little bit. But 76, honestly, I could look at a guard spot right here as well. Ed Ingram, this is a good spot for him. Jarrett Patterson, obviously, we don't need him because center is the one thing we don't need on this team. But for a team that needs a center desperately, that's an excellent pick. I would look on the interior defensive line. I've already went Haskell Garrett before. Tyler Davis is actually pretty damn good, not going to lie. So there is a lot to like here. And honestly, this is a pretty poor interior defensive line class. Last year, we had a pretty deep one, which it wasn't great at the top, but, there was obviously some really damn good depth. So there's obviously nothing that's going to be an impact if you get a defensive lineman right now. If we go linebacker, you can go Popo here, which I think he's really underrated. That's kind of disgusting. Devin Lloyd, another really good guy. Just trying to think of maybe if you want to move on from Jordan Hicks, that's something that we could definitely do. Running back, Kyron Williams could be your more receiving style back. I know you have I'm bugging on his name right now. Your main back right now. He is there, and he is pretty damn good. Anais Smith, by the way, watch out for this dude. He is a light bugger, but he's damn good. By the way, Zach Charbonnet, rep Oaks Christian, but it's like, damn. I mean, I'm pretty interested in Kyron Williams and Anais Smith here. That is definitely a target I'd look at. But we did talk about tight ends. And Isaiah Likely could be a really fun tight end. I would love him as a gadget weapon for Kyler Murray to actually use. Yes, he doesn't fit the Cliff scheme. I would say fuck Cliff scheme. Genuinely. I seriously could not give 2 cents about it just to keep it more clean. I don't think that he's going to be a coach for much longer. So I'm going to kind of get off the train of he uses his tight ends blockers. It's about damn time that you actually use your tight ends properly. Speaking of a team that has really good tight end usage, the Seahawks, we need to be able to deal with at least getting somebody with some talent here. Josh Jobe. I think Josh Jobe could actually really work in this team. but we might be looking at Storm Duck here. So I want to actually make sure that he is not just like a slow type of guy. Regardless, I'm gonna be taking him anyways. Storm Duck is actually pretty damn talented. Has high end reps against a lot of different players. And honestly, I was thinking about taking him right here for the Niners, which I'm actually gonna take Josh Jobe. They did make Richard Sherman look like he was pretty damn competent. And that means that they're able to hide more of that lack of speed. So I think that would be an excellent decision right there. So for the Rams, though, the Rams, we could definitely go after somebody like Jarrett Patterson here, really solid center. And I think that he's a bit underrated. I mean, if Nick Ford is above Jarrett Patterson, what are you doing, right? I think that'd just be the best option. Like, just get an extra offensive lineman in there. You can never go wrong getting the offensive line. I think it's the biggest weakness for the Rams, especially since they just brought in Sony Michel. It's a pretty damn good, pretty deep running back core. And then the wide receiver core, pretty damn solid, tight end core, solid. The quarterback core, obviously solid. The one thing that's really missing is that offensive line supremacy. And again, you do have guys who are about to retire, which is not good. So I would also maybe look at maybe another edge piece, a 3-4 defensive end style type of guy. Obviously, if we did see, I'm forgetting where he actually went, Zach Harrison, we'd take him here. It's perfect for him. But for right now, we're gonna probably go away from that. It's an interesting spot. I'll go linebacker though. Merlin Robertson is here, but I love Owen Popo out of Auburn. I think there's just a lot of potential right there for him. And I think that's going to be the best the best person available on the board. I think Owen Popo is probably around 40 on my big board. Getting him here at 100 is a steal. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.